If you are a frequent listener to the podcast, you know that we have been sponsored by Fuji Sports for quite some time now. Whether you're looking for apparel, equipment, bags, or accessories, Fuji Sports has got it covered. Go to fujisports.com to see the latest selection of everything you need for your jiu-jitsu, judo, or MMA journey. That's fujisports.com. Let me take a minute to tell you about RŌL TV. If you're looking to take your jiu-jitsu to the next level and supplement your BJJ education, then RŌL TV has you covered. RŌLAcademy.tv has over 1,500 videos covering individual techniques, positions, and concepts, including seminars and workshops with top-level competitors and instructors like Chris Wojcik, Robert Drysdale, Aaron Hurley, Emily Kwok, and more. Whether you are a beginner or more advanced student, RŌL TV is the online platform that can take your jiu-jitsu to the next level. What's up, everybody, and welcome back. If you haven't already, please hit the like, share, subscribe, download, listen, and whatever other button there is, and leave us a review wherever you listen. This helps us bring you the great guests and amazing content that you've come to expect. In this conversation, Thomas's guest shares his inspiring journey from overcoming adversity to becoming a successful jiu-jitsu instructor and mentor. He emphasizes the importance of gratitude, health, and discipline in achieving personal growth. He also reflects on his journey to earning his black belt and the lessons he learned along the way, culminating in the creation of the 1% Club, a program designed to help men become the best versions of themselves. Here's the RŌL Radio with a third-degree black belt, the owner of the YR Jiu-Jitsu Club, and the founder of the 1% Club, Yaniv Rosenberg.
Welcome to RŌL Radio.
And we are live, Sensei. Thank you for joining us today. How is your morning? How is your afternoon, actually?
First of all, brother, thank you for having me. I appreciate you, inviting me on your podcast. I appreciate your time. And it's an honor. So let's do it. My day is going great. Brother, every day I wake up is a good day. So a lot of people, they like to complain. I have no complaints. As soon as I wake up, boom, I'm in beast mode.
And this is one of the reasons why I invited you to have the conversation, because more I was reading about you, more I was watching and doing research, I feel like you are on a mission. And I feel a lot of people say they're on a mission, but they really don't take action. They don't do things that they say they would. And for you, I think it's opposite. Am I wrong?
Brother, I wouldn't even say, man, like on a mission. I'm just grateful, brother, to be alive, man. I've been through a lot of hard times in my life. Man, I have stories literally for hours and hours and hours, from growing up around war, losing my parents young, being involved in gangs, being involved in organized crime, being multiple time Florida state champion, having 5 children, being married, being broke, being a millionaire. I've been through so much, man. So like my mission is just to live. And I just want to share my enthusiasm to be alive with everybody else, because I think everyone is alive, but they're dead inside.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think so many people live from day to day without being purposeful or even appreciating what they have?
So I think they're on automatic, man. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think you're on automatic. I think so. I have a lot of coaching programs and stuff. And the first thing I do is I have people say like a morning affirmation. Thank you, God, for another day. Thank you for my hands, for my eyes, for my nose. I can breathe. I can smell. Oh, wow, I have hair. I can feel, like just the most basic. See, the thing is, people are always ungrateful and they're always thinking ahead, is because they don't appreciate what they have. But if I give you $100 million and I give you all the hottest chicks and I give you all the clout and 50 world championships, if you don't have your health, brother, you don't have anything. So
That is
when you
true.
start waking up your day, brother, when you start waking up saying, hey, God, thank you for one more day, right away your day changes. Then you say, well, you know what? Let me start going. I tell the guys, go with the small things. Look at your hands. Imagine today you woke up, brother, you didn't have no hands. How would your day go? Like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine, bro, we went to go do this podcast and you couldn't hear, or you couldn't talk, or you went to go smell your food and you couldn't smell, so if you really think about it, man, we are all so rich. with so little. We're just so freaking rich. We're so wealthy, but we're blind. You know, we get distracted, you know, by the Rolex, by the nice house. But for me, it's just toys. You know, you fucking take everything away from me, it means nothing, bro. You know what I mean? As long as I have my health, bro, I don't care.
You know, recently I heard this phrase or a quote, and I'm paraphrasing, but it says, if you have your health, you have million problems. Your job, your family, your kids, your this and that, and everybody comes as everybody. But the moment your health goes away, you only have one problem.
Correct.
How you feel about that?
It's a fact, man. It's a fact. Like, bro, like, I've been fighting my whole life. I've done martial arts my whole life. Like I told you, I grew up rough, gangs, this, that, the other. You put me in a really bad cold, bro, I turn to a little bitch. I'm like, I'm all fucked up. You know what I mean? It's like this big guy, you know, I'm like, you turn to a fucking wimp. You know what I mean? You put me, you know, like, you know, I'm not good with like, motion. You know, you put me on a boat, it starts rocking a lot. I get fucking dizzy. I start throwing up, bro. Like, I turn to a bitch. So it just shows you, man, no matter how tough you are, no matter how much money you got, no matter what clout you have, one thing, bro, God switches on you or turns off or on. And you're nothing, you know?
So why do you think that so many people out there don't appreciate the things that we have? They chase that golden object, the shiny object, whether it's money, job, whatever it might be, even being a black belt or gold medal. They chase it, but they don't appreciate what they have, you know, right now.
So that, again, like I said, you know, like you take it all for granted.
Mm-hmm.
You take it all for granted. I did a talk, you know, at the end of my classes, I give talks. And I said, let's even go before that. Before you're conceived, right? While your dad, you know what I mean, is getting booty with your mother, right? You know, I don't know how I can talk over here too much, but he's getting down. Brother, he's getting down. He's smashing it, right? He busts a nut. Guess what happens, man? There's millions of sperms, millions, trying to get to that womb to become a baby one day. And one of them makes it, right? One of them makes it. And then now your wife has to go through 9 months of hard labor. And then finally they have you. And God blesses you. He gives you a soul. He gives you a life. And then here you are fucking neglecting everything. Like, you are so fucking lucky just to even make it out. You know what I mean? We're so lucky just to make it out. And then we're going to take it for granted. So it's like, I'm not going to fucking waste my time, brother. I don't waste my time with bad relationships. I don't waste my time with negative ass people. You know, like people who comment on my shit, I just block them. People are like, why don't you interact? I'm like, I'm not interacting with a fucking idiot. You know what I mean? Like, my life's too short, bro, to waste time with anything. I make big deals of things that mean a lot to me. You know, like, bro, every morning, every day at the same time, I have my coffee with my wife sitting outside the porch. If she misses the fucking coffee, bro, I get mad. Wow, it's only one day. I said, today could be my last day. You do understand that, right? No motherfucker whoever died that day said, oh, today's going to be my last day. They went out to work. They had a heart attack. They got hit by a car. A fucking ladder fell on their head. I don't know what happened, right? And everything changed. They went to a routine doctor visit. The doctor said, you got cancer. You got 6 months to live, whatever. Whatever the fuck it is, your life in 1 millisecond, brother, changes 1,000,000%. So every day you have the opportunity to seize the moment. Be a good father, be a good husband, be a good coach, just be a good human being. And then every day you have the ability, man, to like conquer life. What are you going to do with it?
But then again, I'm thinking, like, I'm listening to you, and I feel like everybody knows everything that you're saying. This is not like groundbreaking truth that nobody ever talks about. Like,
basics.
We know that we're going to die one day. We know that we could wake up or not wake up today. We know we could lose everything that we have in life. And yet,
but they're in denial.
99% of people ignore it.
Brother, they're in denial. Most people are in denial.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They feel like they're fucking immortals. You know what I mean? So, you know, I ride Harleys all across the country, all over the place. And people say, oh, you shouldn't ride a motorcycle. You might die. You know what I'm saying? At least I'm going to fucking die doing something I enjoy, motherfucker. What about you? You know what I mean? Fucking piece of shit. You just sit there fucking, you know, rotting away with your shitty job and your shitty marriage and your shitty life. And you disguise it by being okay and you numb yourself by smoking weed and fucking drinking alcohol. You get what I'm saying? Like, I live my life. I'm not worried about death. I'm worried about not living. You see, death is coming to everybody, but not everyone's living. So I carry a coin with me, and that coin, one side says memento mori. It says, remember that you will die. The other side says memento vivere, which means remember to live. Okay. So every day you have to remind yourself, is today going to be my last day? Nah, it shouldn't be, but it might. So let me make sure I say I love you to my wife. Let me make sure I spend that 5 minutes with my children. Let me make sure when I teach that class tonight, I'm going to give a great class. You know, like, but people don't think. They always think there's tomorrow. People, you know, like on my coaching program, bro, like guys, they hire me to get in shape and all that. You know when they want to do it? After the divorce. They want to change things after things fail. Why not do it before? Why wait? Why wait, bro? Like my father, man, like he was my mentor. He died of lung cancer. He fucking waited to stop smoking only once he got cancer. You know, I get chills, bro, telling you this shit. You know, like, bro, we used to take his cigarettes. We used to hide them. We used to argue with him. Dad, please. He was addicted. But here shows you that addiction is bullshit. The day he went to the doctor and they said, Mr. Rosenberg, you have lung cancer. That day, he never smoked another cigarette till he died.
How does that work? How is that? Why we don't have the power inside of us? And the same thing we can say like about jiu-jitsu. Like how many people come to the academy and say, I'm going to lose weight before I start jiu-jitsu. Oh, I need to do this and this and this before I start it. Like we can find these relations everywhere. Where like we wait for something, and many will say it's excuses. Like, but your example, what you're sharing with your father, I think it's really fundamental and simple. Like you are
Brother, we're all
capable.
waiting while life is passing us by.
Yeah, exactly.
This is what it is. That's just the bottom line. Everybody's waiting while life is passing you by. Every moment that passes that you don't utilize, it's a moment wasted. You cannot trade it for money. You cannot trade it for gold. You cannot trade it for anything. The moment's gone, brother.
Where did you get the coin that you talk about?
One of my buddies got it from me from the academy because I always talk about like death all the time. I actually consider death as my best friend. So he got me that damn coin.
Why do you consider death your best friend?
Bro, death is your best friend. You didn't know that?
I'm asking you.
Death is your best friend, brother, because it reminds you to live. Okay? It reminds you to live. See, most people, they go through life never wanting to talk about death, right? They want to make it like some taboo thing that, you know, like they're going to try to avoid for as long as possible. But the fact of the matter is, the more you try to avoid it, the more you stop life. So I keep death right in front of me every day. And like I said to you, is it going to happen today, tomorrow, next week? I don't know. So it forces me to live. Go take that trip you wanted to take your wife out, do this, do that, have that family dinner, you know, don't take on another client, because you take on another client, you got to dedicate your time to that client. Well, if you remember, we all have a certain amount of time. So something has to give. You want to be a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world champion? No problem, bro. You need to train 6 hours a day. You need to go 5-6 days a week. You need to go fly out all around the country, compete, all IBJJFs. You know, like, are you willing to do that? Even if you have the talent, are you willing to do that? Because it comes with a price. It's time away from your family. It's time away from your kids. It's time away from your business. It's time away from whatever. So for young guys, it's okay. You know, but for us, you know, we want to do it for fun. Great. But what else are we sacrificing?
Why do you think so many people say they will do it, but they don't? They really don't mean it. You know, and jiu-jitsu is a good example of it. But like we can talk about losing weight. We can talk about, you know, getting rid of addictions. Like all of these things, we say, yeah, I want to drop cigarettes. Yeah. Or I want to lose weight. I want to lose 10 pounds. Like if we fundamentally look at weight loss, it's really not difficult. There's a process you need to follow. You can find recipes for free everywhere. Like it doesn't take a genius. And I don't mean to be disrespectful to anybody, but many say I will do it and then they don't.
So brother, this goes back to childhood. You know what I mean? When you grow up without discipline, when your parents just love on you because you're this cute little thing and they let you get away with everything. You know what I mean? You turn out to be a fucking loser. This is just what it is. Bro, I teach the kids class, bro. if you're at my academy and you hear what comes out of my mouth, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's fucking crazy. I'll train a fucking 6-year-old. He'll be like, I can't do it. I'm like, call your mortgage company. Tell him you can't pay the mortgage. He goes, what's a mortgage? I was like, you'll fucking find out, motherfucker. And the parents are like, yeah, because the fact of the matter is if you can't do the push-up or you can't do this or you can't do this, and you always have a fucking excuse, a reason, and a story, what's going to happen in real life? When you need to lose the weight, when you need to stop the smoking, when you need to pay your bills, when you need to stand strong on your 2 feet, you won't be able to, brother. You know what I mean? Because you weren't trained. So think of a white belt coming to you. My first thing, bro, in my academy, when people come to me, is just to get them mentally strong. So I push them physically, I push them mentally, where I'll just lay on their face. And the first day, they're tapping, they're freaking out, right? But calm down, bro. Calm down. I'll get off their face and I'll go back. I said, this time last 10 seconds, then next 30 seconds, and so on and so on. And I got guys, bro, today on my team, you could smother them. Take a wet towel, put it over their face, lay on them, and they're chilling because since white belt for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, they're training, they're used to suffering. And now they're mentally tough. And this is what I have to do with everybody. And this is what we have to do with our children. And this is what we have to do with everybody. The harder you make their life at the beginning, the easier their life will be later on. My father told me, he said, people that laugh with you now, it's okay, son. You can skip practice. It's okay, my love. You can do this. You can do that. You could take a day off. You don't have to finish your homework. You don't have to be respectful to your teacher. Whatever it is, the more you concede to them, the worse they will become. But the harder you are on them. And remember, bro, like being a sensei, being a coach, professor, or a father, which the father is the main one, your job is not to be anybody's friend.
Mm-hmm.
Brother,
Agreed.
I can't tell you how many students I've lost because I won't take half-ass, man. You come in high, I kick you out. I'll tell you nicely, bro. My friend, whatever your name is, please, bro, this is an academy. You shouldn't be smoking. Da-da-da-da. You come. Okay, sensei. All right, my brother. All right, my brother. Okay, brother. Okay. And do it again. Tell you nicely again. Next time, I cancel your fucking membership. Get the fuck out of my gym. Right? I don't need your fucking money, bro. Like, this is the thing, man. We're constantly like selling ourselves. You know what I mean? And I'm not here to sell anything, bro. I'm here to just be truthful, be genuine. I'd rather have 100 students of people who follow and are aligned with me than have a fucking school of 300 people and it's a fucking shit show. And I'm only there just collecting money and selling my soul. And same thing with my kids, you know what I mean? Or my wife or whatever subject you want to talk about.
Do you feel like the society is soft today?
Like I said, I think it's not, I don't even know if it's just today. I think it's been going on forever, man. I think if you treat, an easy life just creates fucking shit people, man. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah, no,
You know what I mean?
I agree. Well, it's like I can't even argue with you. Like I agree 100% with everything that you're saying. But yet we are in this situation where.
So here's the problem, right? So like I came here from Israel, bro. Before we moved here, I grew up around war. My dad was a tank commander. He was fighting in the war. We were hiding in a room, taped with duct tape, wet rags, because Saddam Hussein was attacking us with chemical weapons. We're sitting in a room shaking, okay? Fucking people shitting their pants and shit, bro. Like, it's real shit, all right? The war is over. My parents said, let's immigrate to America. We immigrate to America. We live 6 people in 1 bedroom, okay? Bro, like, I'm a white Jewish kid, okay? We move into an all-black neighborhood. My parents didn't know, white, black, like, didn't know anything, right? All infested with gangs. You had to make our way through. Like we would turn on the water, bro. There wouldn't be fucking water because my parents didn't have enough money to turn on the water. I would have to go to downstairs to the building. I don't know if you remember. You look like you're my age. They used to have those keys. They used to open the.
Oh yeah.
Right. So I used to fucking have one of those keys to turn on the hose just to wash my face, and I was so embarrassed inside. I was like, oh man, I hope nobody sees me. But it built me inside strong. You know what I mean? I would go on.
How old are you at that time? How old were you when you
12.
moved here? 12.
11, 12.
So you are old enough to understand what's going on. I mean, you old enough to understand that.
Oh, of course, bro.
Your life is not unicorn and rainbows.
It was hard. Yeah, no, it was hard. It was hard. And like I said, we would turn on the light. Sometimes there was no light. Even food, right? Like today, bro, like I have 5 kids, I make pretty good money. My fridge is always full. My kid's like, what's for dinner? If I ask my mom what's for dinner, bro, she hit me with a pot over the head. Bro, I'm not joking. Like, it's the truth. Like, I wish I could make it up, but it's the fucking truth. Like, my mom would say, whatever it is, that's what you eat. Right?
Yeah.
And that's just what you ate. That's it. You like it. You don't like it. You like onions. You don't like onions. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Was your mom tough?
Both my parents were tough. Bro,
Describe tough.
My mom, brother, she used to hype up my dad when we'd fuck up. My dad was at work working construction. She would hype him up. And then when he fucking come home, you know what I mean? But we needed those beatings, bro. Like, if you didn't get those beatings, who knows? Maybe I would have turned out to be another douchebag.
Yeah. Yeah. Many people listen to this and are going to say, well, this is not how you raise kids.
They're going to say, this guy's an
bullshit. Uh-huh. 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 Now,
Oh,
years
my God.
later or decades later, do you appreciate those moments? Do you appreciate the
Every
fact?
one of them. Every one of them, bro. I wouldn't change any one of those beatings or anything that's ever happened to me, brother. Like, it was all a blessing. It made me who I am today. That's how I'm able to lead so many people. That's how I'm able to lead my wife and my children. That's how I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet. Like I said, I've had so many stories, bro, where I just kept strong and kept getting up, that if you didn't prepare me, I would fold.
Tell me one of those stories from your teenage years. You're here in the U.S. and it's just, you're
brother,
trying to find your way.
So when I was 13, I joined IGC, Insane Gangster Crip. I don't know if you ever heard of Crips. Right, Crips, Bloods, whatever. Like, I didn't care about Bloods or Crips. It was just a neighborhood gang, right? And we always used to like get into all kinds of fights and get in trouble and this and that. And I remember one of my friends, he broke into a car, and he didn't even tell me. He just broke into a car, and he gets into my car. I was 16. I just got my car. He gets in. He's like, go, go, go. And I'm like, what's going on? And fucking guy went and stole some purse. Do you remember Blockbuster?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This purse had nothing in it but a Blockbuster card. Okay. And like, remember, bro, when you're dealing with, in general, low income gang members, in general, they're idiots. Right. And these are the people around me. Like, there's no education. Everybody's parents are either ghetto or broke or immigrants. You know what I mean? Like, when I came home with a blue rag, my mom thought it was a fashion statement. She had no idea, that I was a gang member. Anyways, bro, we go, and I'm like, what the fuck did you do? I'm like, you idiot. He's like, so I was like, get this shit out of my car. So we pull up behind a plaza, and I was like, throw this fucking purse out of my car. I don't want this shit in my car. He throws it out, and then right away, a police officer comes. And whoop, whoop. I was like, oh, shit. And again, listen, I always tell people, like, don't do the crime if you ain't willing to do the time. Even though I didn't do the crime, that was my friend. I'm not going to snitch. The cop came, and he's like, please, bro, don't say anything. I was like, came, he roped us both up, and he's like, listen, he's like, I know he did it. He's like, we know he did it. But if you tell us that he did it, we're going to let you go. If not, you're getting locked up. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. Boom. Did fucking a little bit of time, as a teenager. And just made me fucking tough. But two things I realized. Number one, nobody's coming to save you. All your gang friends that you think they're your friends are not your friends. You know what I mean? And the best thing is stay fucking straight. Two, by not snitching. Okay? When I was in juvenile, everybody respected me. And then when I came out, everybody respected me. So again, if you ain't willing to do the time, don't do the fucking crime, but don't hang around people that do that shit. And till this day, I never break my word. You know what I mean? Like, if you're my boy, you're my boy. We ride or die. But, we talk about moments, like I had several moments like that where I've helped other people, and I'm the one who took the fucking heat and suffered a lot for it. But again, it made me who I am today.
Why? Tell me why. I mean, so many people, would say, fuck this. Like, why am I putting myself, my life, my word on the line? I can just point a finger and we are done. Like, I don't have to, like, Nothing. There's nothing forcing you to do this besides
So-
your own accountability.
When I was 18, I played college football. I lived in California, College of San Mateo, and I came down here to visit my parents for a vacation. It was a holiday. I don't remember what holiday it was. The reason I know it was a holiday because I got locked up and I spent extra time in fucking county jail for this shit. But anyways, my buddy, I hung around with some old buddies. They were walking this way. Another group of guys were walking that way. They all bumped into each other, and my buddy started fighting with this guy. Well, one of the guys there, the guy's friends, swung at me. Now, I've been fighting my whole life. Forget just jiu-jitsu. Street fighting, Muay Thai, hand-to-hand combat, Krav Maga, judo, Aikido. I used to box. So this big motherfucker, he swings at me. I move. I lay him out. He's dropped. Everyone's fighting. The guy goes to get up. I kick him. As I kick him, police comes. Everyone starts running. I'm like, I'm not going to run because the guy swung at me first, right? Bro, I get locked up, 2nd-degree felony. They try to give you 2 to 15 years. Now, remember, I'm from Israel, so I didn't have my citizenship yet. I only had a green card. So again, here I am again. Now I lost my football scholarship because when you get locked up, you go on jail. I mean, bail. When you go to bail, you can't leave until your court settles. I lost my football scholarship. I started going the wrong route again. And that's actually was the best thing that ever happened to me because I started getting into like some serious things, like working, with like the big dogs in New York. They used to hire me to do like collections and stuff. And remember, we didn't have a lot of money, so I used to take money. I used to take envelopes like in the movies. I would put cash and I would give it to my dad. And my dad said, "Where you getting this money? You selling drugs?" I said, "No, I'm not selling drugs." He says, "Listen, son," he goes, "I didn't come to this country for you to end up dead or in prison." He goes, "I don't know what you're doing, but whatever you're doing, you're going to end up dead or in prison." He goes, "Do something you love." I said, "Dad," the only thing I love to do is fight, work out, and play football. He says, "Well, you can't play football no more." He goes, "Why don't you teach people?" He goes, "Because if you go to jail or die," he goes, "you're going to destroy everything I've ever worked for." And I've always had this sense, I guess just the way I was raised, about family and loyalty and doing the right thing. And I said, I dropped everything, bro. And everybody, all the people I were involved with, they let me walk away. Because again, from my childhood, I never been a snitch. From my childhood, I always stood. From my childhood, every time I got in trouble, I never went left and right. I quit everything I was doing, brother. I was making mad money. I was living by the beach. Pinky ring, Rolex, fucking hottest chicks you could think of. Got rid of everything, moved back to my parents' house, got a job at a gym, making like $7 an hour minus taxes. I would work all week. My paycheck was like $250. Okay. And I had many times like of hardships to go back to that life. And I didn't, brother. And in 1 year, I was one of the top trainers in the country.
All right, rewind a little bit. Why? Not why. Let me rephrase. What's driving you to make such a big change in your life? And what I mean by this, you have everything in the world financially, anything you want, literally. Like people would kill to have what you have from financial perspective. And you
Back
go
in the days, you're
opposite.
talking about when I was a gangster.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you make this decision to move back with your parents, and you make no money. I mean, I don't care.
No money.
I mean, there's a big life change, right? Shift.
Tremendous.
You're going from having cars, Rolex, anything you want. You live on the beach. You are royalty, essentially.
Don't forget the hot chicks, brother.
Well, yeah, absolutely. That comes with the territory, right? But then you flip it opposite direction, literally overnight. Boom, done. Why? Why give that up?
Because, brother, my parents gave up everything for us to come to America, man, to have an opportunity. They gave up everything for us. Like we were very combative, me and my brothers, and for sure we would have been like special forces or whatever, because in Israel you have to serve. And you already know that Israel, we're always under attack and wars and shit, so it's like there would be a big chance we might be dead in the military, right? Or not, I don't know. So when someone gives you an opportunity, brother, in life, if it's if it's the guy at the academy who can't pay his membership and you say, hey, whatever your name is, Johnny, come on, come train for free. Just help me clean the mat or help me with the kids class or whatever. When someone gives you any opportunity in life, you don't fuck it up. You go above and beyond to excel, you know, and to not let those people down. So my parents gave me the opportunity to come to this country. What kind of piece of shit would I be? Low life motherfucker, no good trash to destroy what they did. Bro, imagine people our age, you and I, in their 40s, leaving their country, not understanding one word of English, immigrating here with a few $1,000s because they know in their heart that their children can have an opportunity. And like I said, bro, my parents never gave me money. They never gave me, my dad never said, oh, I love you, none of this shit. But I knew how much they loved me. I knew how much they sacrificed for me. So what kind of person I would be to ruin that? You know what I mean? And for me, bro, like when I got into the gangs or when I got into the organized crime, I was never a bad person, bro. Like I don't have, some people have evil souls, bro. Like I've talked more gangsters out of doing bad things than anyone you can ever imagine. They used to call me the lawyer. They're like, bro, they're like, you here to help us or talk us out of it? I'm like, bro, I'm like, we don't need it. I was like, you know, the reason I was in gangs was the only thing I knew how to do was fight. So I didn't know how to use my channel my frustration. I didn't have a sport to go to. I didn't have anything. So like I didn't have a brotherhood. So you're around these guys. They go fight these guys, so you go fight with them. You know what I mean? You don't even know what you're fighting about. You know, and then when I worked, you know, for the wise guys, you know, like I didn't like sell drugs. I didn't kill people. I didn't do anything fucking crazy like that. I just collected money. Let's just say, you know, somebody owed you $100,000. You sent me, I got your money back. You know, I actually felt good. I thought I was doing like a mitzvah. You know what I mean? I thought I was doing a good deed.
Is that how it felt?
Bro, and believe it or not, man, you know, like it's funny, right? Like if you go to the bank right now and you say, hey, Bank of America, I want to get a loan, right? They check your background and whatever, and then they give you the loan. You have to sign 40 documents, tiny letters. You don't know what the hell's in there, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you go to the wise guys and you say, hey, Yaniv, I need $100,000. I say, okay. When you going to have it back? You're going to say next month. I said, okay, no problem. I want 110 back. Is that good for you? And you say, yes. I said, okay. We shake hands. There's no paper. I give you the $100,000. You walk away. Next month on the 1st, I want 110. But now the 1st comes up and you say, hey, I don't have it. Well, okay. Well, now it's going to be 115. You know what I mean? And I explained that to you at the beginning. And then eventually, you know, you try to run away. Then you get a call and then you get Sensei Yaniv showing up at your door and say, hey, man, come on. You got the money, bro. You know what's funny, man, about people who borrow money? They always have the fucking money. They just don't want to pay.
Is that what it is?
9 out of 10, brother.
Yeah.
They got the fucking money. You know, and then, you know, and they pay like, oh, you fucking degenerate. You take the money and then I get a cut.
Yeah. It seems like your life has been very rich in from an event perspective, if you will.
So many, brother. So fucking many. That's why I have so many damn stories. I could talk for days.
Well, so let's talk about the jiu-jitsu part of all of this. You move back with your parents. Within a very short period of time, you become one of the best personal trainers there can be. You're really into fitness. You're pushing this hard. At which point jiu-jitsu starts?
Well, right before we get into the jiu-jitsu, I just want to mention about the fitness part.
Mm-hmm.
When I worked for a gym called 24 Hour Fitness at the time, it was one of the top gyms in the country. They had 324 gyms when I worked for them. And in less than 1 year, I was the top 3 trainer. They offered me a management position, full benefits, $75,000 a year. This is 2002. Which $75,000 a year for all you young folks today is like probably like 150, 200,000. Full benefits. Now you remember, you're talking to a guy that was from the hood with nothing. You know what I mean? We never even heard of we didn't know what the hell 401k is. We didn't know anything. My parents are like, bro, take it. And I was like, no. They said, why not? I said, because all they care about is money. Even at a young age, I knew that money wasn't everything. That I knew the connection with my clients meant more to me than the money. Because whenever I had a meeting with like the team, the managers we're always like, okay, who's signing up? Who's re-signing? Who's this? Who's that? And I was like, bro, don't you want to know about John, that he just lost 50 pounds? Don't you want to know about Michelle, who's is able to fit into her wedding dress or whatever? Like, I really cared about the people. And instead of taking that position and becoming a corporate guy, I took out a loan out of my credit card at like 20 something %. And I opened up my first gym, which was called Crave Fitness Inc. And that's the story. And that's how it all started. Now we can go back to jiu-jitsu.
Why was it so important to you to care for people versus money? I mean,
Because,
you come
bro,
from, if you look at this, like I'm looking at this story as an outsider, right? You come from a background where money is not an issue. Like it seems like there was a success period where you are rolling in dough. You go into this hardship of living with parents and working hard for barely anything, and then somebody offers you money. And your immediate response is, instead of going back and start chasing the dollar, you go, no. This is not important. What's more important is my relationship with my clients. Why?
Yes, sir. Because, brother, relationships are everything. Relationships are everything. If I give you all the money in the world and you come home to an empty house, brother, you're the biggest loser. Okay, if I give you all the money in the world, and I give you an academy right now with 500 students, but you're just the guy on the wall. I mean, like, I get pleasure, bro, when I have some fucking guys, bro, like, I'm super athletic, bro. So, like, I'm not used to not being athletic. So when I'll have some people sign up, bro, they can't even run in a circle. I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, look at this fucking guy. And I make fun of him, right? But then in a month, all of a sudden, he's running. Off 2 months, he's doing push-ups. He's doing rolls over her head because he was afraid he's going to hurt his neck. He bumped somebody off, whatever, the small wins. And it's like, you see these people gaining confidence. You see these people getting better mentally, physically, emotionally. And that feeds my soul. That's what makes me rich. The money that they pay me, if it's private training, my coaching program, or my jiu-jitsu academy, that pays the bills. But what really pays and feeds my soul is you succeeding in life, on and off the mat. So that's why I did that.
What's so satisfying about it? Like, have you ever sat back and like thought about this? Like, this really makes me happy. This brings smile to my face, give me satisfaction as a human. What is it so satisfying about people winning?
Brother, because ever since we were kids, right? Think of a video game or anything that you ever liked. If you did you ever used to collect cards or anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You got a card, you open up a deck.
Mm-hmm.
What's the first thing you want to do with it?
Look at it, I guess. I don't know.
After that, you want to share with your friends.
Oh, yeah. Exchange it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yo, Johnny, look what I got. Look what I got. Right? Or you're playing a video game. You don't play by yourself. You want to play with a buddy.
100%.
Play basketball. You want to play basketball with a buddy. Like, you want to eat. Right now, today, bro, we're in our 40s. You want to go to a nice dinner. Imagine you ate that dinner by yourself. Even if the food is the same, the atmosphere is the same, but you're alone, my brother, it means nothing.
Very true.
Okay? So I rather have minimal financial success, but be rich with relationships and friendships and love and things that mean way more than money, brother. Because money's always gonna come and go.
So you open your gym, you take on the money from the credit card with ridiculous percentage.
It's like 25%, something like that.
Jesus Christ, they ripped you off on that. When does
it needs to
jiu-jitsu
hurt,
come in
brother?
play?
It needs to hurt. You want it to hurt.
When
you
does
hurt,
jiu-jitsu...
the lesson stays.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, no denial there. I mean, I've had my fair share. I really appreciate your story from a perspective. I came to the United States when I was a teenager. It's a very similar story. My dad came here. He brought me in, and like, I have no friends, nobody. I didn't speak any English whatsoever. He just dumped me in school and say, figure it out. And all the love and everything, but I did not hear I love you from my dad for I don't know how long. As I went through my jiu-jitsu journey, my dad didn't see me do jiu-jitsu until I got my black belt, literally for 10, 11 years. My dad didn't even know what jiu-jitsu is. Like, right. So I very much so share and appreciate some of the struggles that you talk about.
Brother, I opened up my academy in 2003. And every day from 5 a.m. to 9 o'clock at night, I go and hustle. I got business cards, I got flyers, and I would go from store to store. And I would just leave them. I would leave them on cars. I would see people. I would say, hey, come train. I would tell them, come train for free, just for them to try it out. And I would offer fitness, striking, self-defense. I knew some throws from judo when I was a kid, but I didn't know no jiu-jitsu. Fast forward, 2008 comes. 2008, 2007. Right around there. No, you know what? It's 2008 because the economy was crashing. Right? The economy was crashing. You want to hear a really good story in between?
Do tell.
All right. Economy's crashing. There's a big, I have to reverse. Hurricane Wilma. It's like 2005, I think. I think it's 2005, 2005, because my dad was still alive. I go to the bank. I go to my safe deposit box. I take out cash, okay? And then I go to the safe deposit box. As I go there, I find a red velvet bag, okay? I'm like, holy shit. Now, if you ever been in a safe deposit box room, there's no cameras, right? It's underneath the desk. I pick it up. I open it up. It's full of diamonds, brother. It's full of fucking diamonds. My heart starts racing. And remember, bro, like, I'm like 2 years into my business. I don't have a lot of money, like I'm just trying to make it. I'm like, fuck, bro, what do I do? Now, my brother, just so you know, my brother's he's one of the biggest diamond dealers, maybe in the world. Big dog, right? But he just was starting also. I said, man, I could take these diamonds and lay them off. I take him, I put him in my pocket, brother. I walk out. I call my dad. Dad, I found a bag of diamonds. What? I said, yeah. I go, what do I do? He goes, you know what you need to do. Click. Hangs up. Right? I'm like,
what's going through your mind?
First, I'm like, I hit the jackpot. It was probably like 200 grand worth of diamonds. Right? And I called my father, and he didn't have any money either. He could have been like, yeah, bring it home. We'll take it to David, my brother. And he's like, you know what you need to do. Hangs up the phone on me. I'm like, fuck. And I was like, I got to do what's right. I walk back into the bank. I go into the bank manager and I say, sir, I was like, I need to talk to you. I said, close the door, close the door. I take out this red velvet bag full of diamonds. He goes, oh my gosh. I go, I found this and he goes, you bringing it back? I go, yes, I am. He couldn't believe it. So now I don't know, is he going to steal it, right? Because there's no proof of it.
Right.
So I said, listen, man, I counted every single diamond. I know what's in here. Somebody dropped it. Somebody's saving, somebody's fortune. They, on a mistake, dropped it. He's like, man, he goes, I've never met anyone who's done such a deed. Okay, no problem. So remember, going back, it was Hurricane Wilma. I go to the gas station to fill my tank. I lose my wallet, bro. Right? I took like $1,000. And when I went to go put the wallet back into my pocket, it fell down. Whatever. The hurricane goes through. I don't even know I lost my wallet. I go to look for my wallet's gone. I'm like, motherfucker. I just got rid of that bag of diamonds. You know what I mean? Being fucking Mr. Goody Two-Shoe. Lose my fucking wallet. And then my dad asked me if he could park his car in my garage because he didn't have a garage. And the fucking tree fell on my car because my car was outside. So this is the whole fucking shit show, right? I'm like, what the fuck, man? This is what you get from being a good guy.
Things are just not going your way.
Bro, I don't know, man. A week and a half later, something like that, I get an envelope in the mail, brother. It's a brown envelope with nothing on it. No return address, no name, nothing. I open it up, is my wallet, brother, with every single dollar, every document, everything. And I'm telling you, I said, man, God works in mysterious ways. It was unbelievable. The story gets better. Few months pass by, I get a call from Bank of America saying, Mr. Rosenberg? I said, yes. They said, we found the proud owner of this diamonds. It was an older lady. It was all her savings. She put it into diamonds. She lost it. She wants to reward you. I said, I don't want the reward. He goes, she wants to give you $2,000. I said, tell her to keep it. He said, no, she insists. I said, no, you don't understand. You should not get paid for doing the right thing. He's like, man, he goes, I'm telling you, I never met anybody like you. And that was it.
Wow.
That's the really cool story in between.
Well, I mean, talk about things happen for a reason. Like, do you believe in that? Do you believe that our
believe
story
God
is
is always
written
testing you.
somewhere?
God is always testing you, brother. You know what I mean? And I believe God is always testing you, and I believe the devil is always pulling you. It's pulling all of us at all times, right? So he'll put that bag of diamond there. God is testing to see if you'll take it, and and then the devil is enticing you to take it. With every part, man. With every part of your life.
Before we get to your academy, I think this story is super fascinating. Walk me through in more detail what's going through your mind when you're on the way to the bank with those diamonds and you're about to return them. Like, I don't believe that you're not questioning yourself.
I am.
I would be questioning. I was like, what should I if you just don't make it to the bank and make a right or left and simply walk away, nobody knows about this besides your dad.
Yeah.
You can even tell your dad that you return them. Like, I mean, nobody would know.
Nobody. So I talk. Well, there's several things. First of all, like I said, I was struggling with money. My parents were struggling with money. The first thought was, wow, look at all these diamonds. I'm going to sell them to my brother, and whatever. And I'm going to have a bunch of money, and I'm going to be good, and I'm going to help my parents and everything. Right. But the diamonds weren't mine, brother. And how can I take something that's not mine? How can I, it wasn't. And to make it even more cool is that if you find a wallet, right? Like when the person found my wallet, they saw my picture. And remember back in the days, we used to put picture of like our kids, and then you can have like a little bit of feeling like, oh, you know what? Let me send it back. This was nothing. There was no face. There was no number. You didn't know. It's like you just found diamonds. Okay. And I just knew it was the right thing, brother. Like I definitely had the devil over here saying, take it, take it, fucking take it. You need it, take it. And I did need it, but I always believe we have two. We have the good and the bad talking to us. You know what I mean? And the one you're gonna feed is the one you're gonna listen to.
Yeah.
And
Good for you. I mean, what an amazing story. It's just super fascinating for me. So
2008 comes, brother. 2008 comes. I'm super busy with privates. I'm teaching self-defense. I'm teaching I used to teach Aikido. I hold the brown belt also in Aikido. We used to take all the weights. We used to move them all in the back, bro. Like I had like a whole, like think of like a fitness studio. We would take all the guys, would lift all the equipment, move it all the way to the back of the gym. We would lay down the puzzle mats, like the 3/4 inch puzzle mats. Right?
I remember those.
Do throws. It was terrible. So we do like Aikido, self-defense, whatever. This guy comes in who used to train with Hicks and Gracie. Okay, his name was Nick. He comes in, and back in the days, like jiu-jitsu still wasn't like big at all. And he basically challenges me to an MMA fight, right? And I'm like, okay, bro, like I've always been like athletic. I got really good hands. I got great kicks. And, like I could rumble, right? But I don't know jiu-jitsu. Bro, we get at it at my academy, right? In front of everybody. And I'm beating his ass. And the fight goes to the ground. And I go to wail on him. And he gets a hold of me. And then when he gets a hold of me, I'm trying to scramble out, whatever, not really knowing what the hell to do. He sweeps me. I create a scramble. He takes my back. He chokes me out. I go, what the fuck was that? I go, what the fuck was that, bro? He goes, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And I'm like, I've heard of it a little bit from the UFC, like tiny bit, like remember UFC then, like nobody watched it, And I was like, fuck, man, I was like, I got to learn this shit. So I went, I found a school down the street. They were actually renting from a Taekwondo place. They were renting the mats. And the guy's name was Sensei Armando. He was from Brazil. And the class had like 5 people, right? It was him, the brown belt, the purple belt, 1 or 2 blue belts, and a white belt, bro, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I want to take the class. He goes, you ever trained before? I said, no. I go in there, and he sees I know how to roll, like I'm moving really good. So this fucking guy, he puts the best guys on me, right? Like start fighting. And, I'm like, like anybody who's athletic and has some martial art experience, they can last a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he's putting these fucking guys nonstop. I'm gassing now. They're choking me, this, that, whatever. They're beating my ass, bro. They're wiping the mats with me, bro. And obviously I can't punch, right? Because I'm in their class doing grappling. I remember, I was like, man, I'm going to faint. So I go outside this place, and I just lay there like this, like I got shot. And I'm fucking like foaming out of the mouth. I just can't breathe. And these are all Brazilian guys, bro. Like nobody spoke really any English, nothing. The class was over, right? I'm outside now. I'm not inside anymore. They took my bag. They put it outside. They walked over me. And by the way, there was no waivers. There's nothing. Right? They walked over me, bro. Just literally, they stepped over me.
Stepped over, yeah.
And they left me there. They fucking left me there. And I was there for like 2 hours, just like this. Swear to God. And all I can
What's
think
going
about
through your mind?
All I can think about is, number one, don't die, because I've never been so tired my whole entire life. You know what I mean? Like I played football, bro. I've done, striking, Muay Thai, everything. But it's different when someone's on top of you.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like you could get punched in the face, like you can maneuver, or if you get knocked down, you get knocked down. But here, like, they're like suffocating you, and they're on your chest, and you're this and that. Anyways, bro, when I get up, I said, I'm going to come back. I'm going to fuck all these guys up. That's all I could think about. Right? So they thought, like when you have like a tough guy show up to your gym, right? Like, and I didn't even try to be a dick or like a bully, but I'm just a big guy and athletic. So when they saw me, they're like, oh, we're going to prove a point on him.
Oh, yeah.
And they did. But what they didn't know, who the fuck Yaniv Rosenberg is. Brother, I came back the next day, and they were all in shock. They're like, the fuck is he back? You know what I mean? And I was like, how do I sign up? And the guy's like, $150 a month. I'm like, no problem. Take the fucking money. Bro, I took off my black belt. I put on a white belt and started fucking training jiu-jitsu every fucking day. And by the time I got my blue belt, I was able to tap all of them out. Everybody.
Are you obsessed about jiu-jitsu at that point of time?
Obsessed. As a matter of fact, I did my first tournament like a week or 2 weeks in. I signed up. And my coach, he goes, man, you crazy? And I was like, bro, let me go. I don't know what's going to happen. And I go, I remember I fought this guy, Tiago, from Fight Sports, the team that I ended up eventually at. He was about to get his blue belt. And I'm a white belt 2 weeks. He's like white belt 2 years. Okay. And we're going at it. And he didn't tap me out, but like, he beat me by points. I don't remember if he swept me. I don't remember. Something stupid. But at the end, he goes, man, you're a tough motherfucker. How long you been training? A few years? I go, 2 weeks. And he goes, fuck. And somehow we ended up being teammates. My teacher, the poor guy, bro, talking about jiu-jitsu, like he was an old school Brazilian guy. He was a pizza delivery man and a jiu-jitsu instructor. At that time, he was probably like 4th degree, something like that. They couldn't make no money, man. You know what I mean? Because he didn't have any business skills. And all the people we called his brothers, hey, professor, I'll pay you next week, man. Hey, all that bullshit. You know how that goes. And the guy, he came up to me. He's like, bro, he's like, I can't continue at this Taekwondo place. So I already had a gym, like I told you. So I told him, like, come teach at my place. So he started teaching at my place. And I was collecting the money and then paying him, right? Because it's different, like now I'm actually a business owner. I have business skills. But then he had some problems with like papers and this and that, whatever. He ended up going back. And he left me with this guy. I don't want to mention no names, but he left me with this guy, bro. But the guy had such an ego, higher level belt. And I have a rule in my gym, bro. You can't fuck the students. The first thing, the guy had a major ego. right? Like he could never be wrong. He's like unteachable. And he was good in jiu-jitsu, but as a human being, he wasn't the best person. And I made it very clear to everybody who works for me. I'm like, you don't fuck the students. You know what I mean? No matter how hot, no matter, like, just keep it professional. And especially us as instructors, people look up to us, right? They look up to us, and it doesn't matter. You're married, you're not married. People look up to you. So it's easy to take, I don't say take advantage, but like, you get what I'm saying. You have that seniority
100%. Yep.
where you can pull, you know what I mean, more. And this guy was married, and he ended up fucking one of my students. And not that he just fucked one of my students, he would go and joke about it on the mats with all the other guys.
Yeah.
So I had to get rid of him. So now I don't have a teacher, right? My main teacher is in Brazil. This guy's out. And I go to a seminar with Cyborg, right? My teacher, my jiu-jitsu teacher, Cyborg, Roberto Abreu. I go to a seminar with him, and our energies really clicked. But I lived about almost an hour away from where his academy was. So I went to his school. I'm a blue belt. I went to his school and just to try it out. And he says, listen, he's like, I go, can I sign up month to month? And he says to me, no. He's like, if you want to be on the competition team, you got to commit to the year. This is the price, period. I'm like, fucking Eve. I'm like, it's an hour away. And by that time, I already have a family, brother. I have a business, everything. And I'm dying to continue my jiu-jitsu journey. But remember, it's not just an hour. It's an hour there, an hour back. And then the competition team is 2-hour training. We would do 10-minute rounds. Okay. So he basically said, you know, shit or get off the box. So I said, fuck it. I signed the year contract. I show up. Now here's the other story. So you get to the school, and now I'm a really good blue belt, bro. I'm winning every blue belt tournament you could think of. And back in the days, Cyborg School, when you go back to, this is now 2010, 2009, 2010, right around there. All his guys were killers. He didn't have this big school with like 300 students. There was like 20 of them. They're all from Brazil, right? They're all fucking like living all together, you know, like in the gym or, you know, like in a fucking apartment, 8 of them. It was rough training. So I go in there, I sign up, and I'm giving everybody a run for their money. Everybody. So now he's starting to put the fucking like purple belts on me, and I'm going pound for pound, and I'm submitting some of them. And then I go with his brown belt, which is a world champion guy, and I take him down, and the guy just fucking goes crazy. You know, like, who's this fucking new guy coming to our gym doing this? I didn't do it out of evil intention. I just did it to go. I wanted to be a competitor. I wanted to push myself. And that was the only school that had like the top guys. He fucked me up like you couldn't believe. And then after I fought everybody, Cyborg came and just beat my ass. You know what I mean? And just fucking knee on my neck, knee on my stomach. I would tap. He's like, no, bro, you can't tap to that. You fucking suffocate me. The whole 9 yards, brother. You know what I mean? And I said to myself, I said, when the class was over, I remember calling my wife. I said, I don't know if I'm going to go back to the school. And she's like, why? I go, these fucking guys are psycho over there. You know what I mean? I was like, I almost got into a fist fight because I was winning. And I go, and now, instead of these guys like being welcoming, they literally like would try to hurt me, like crank on the arm, you know, like it wasn't, at that time, his school wasn't about growing the school. It was about just bad motherfuckers.
Yep.
And my wife said, he's testing you. I said, all right, let me think about this. You know, I calmed down, whatever, and then I showed up again the next day. And I remember same thing that happened the first time. They looked at like, this fucking guy showed up again. And again, war, bro, with everybody. And eventually I became one of his favorite students because I was married. I had kids. I had 4 kids in 3.5 years, by the way. Right. So I was his father, you know, I was his business owner, and most of the guys were younger than me. They were like, some were like under 18, some were like mid 20s, early 20s. Right. And here comes this guy. He's like, I was 30, maybe I was 30. And I'm traveling an hour. I'm showing up on time. And I remember he used to give these talks. Fucking live across the street. You can't fucking show up on time. This motherfucker here. This guy's ROA. He's got 4 kids. He would use me for example for everything. So they hated me even more, you know? But
Did they
eventually,
make-
bro, you know,
Did that make you feel good in a sense of you? Not only you drive from far away, not only you're the underdog, not
Right.
only you're way older than everybody else. I mean, like if we look at it from like as a big picture here, like this shouldn't be swaying in your direction, right? Like you are either the hardest working or the luckiest cat in the world. Like there's the only two options,
Right.
right? Does that make you feel good that one, there is a success behind this? You are doing well, but also he's recognizing you. Like if he's calling you by name or using you as example, I mean, that's a good thing, right?
big time. It definitely made me feel good, you know, like, you know, anytime I accept anybody as my teacher, my mentor, my father, you hear me? How many times I've already told you father stories?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I give them the utmost respect, man. You know, like I'm a very loyal person. I'm a very, you know, like dedicated person, brother. So like when he took me on as a student and I became his student, I just stayed faithful, brother. I stayed committed. You know, and we can go into stories with that where as the years passed, I had chances to leave the team for many reasons and this and that, and I never did, even till this day. You know, like even when there was like all these scandals going on over there, people would say like try to get me to talk trash. A lot of his guys, bro, the guys that were really close to him, jump ship, and I've always stayed loyal, man. You know, like I said, I write it out, brother. I write it out through thick and thin. And so yeah, man, when, I still look at we're not as close as we used to be, but whenever he comes to promote me, I feel like my dad's showing up. You know, like, and it's funny because, bro, like I'm a really good fighter, but when I fight Cyborg, bro, like I become like a little baby, bro. Like I almost feel bad. I feel bad going hard on my teacher.
Yeah.
Not saying that he won't beat my ass, but like I don't feel respectful. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I remember when my dad used to hit me, you know, when I would fuck up. Bro, at one point I was 230 pounds. You know what I mean? Like, I would never raise my hand on my dad. You just sit there, you take the fucking beating. So same thing when my teacher comes and, you know, whatever, like, I tone it down, brother. I tone it down because I have this thing about respecting, even though I'm older than him, I have this thing about respecting your elders, respecting your teachers. Because I tell this to my guys all the time, like, if we don't respect our elders, we don't respect our teachers, even if you're the best fighter, you're better than your teacher. You know, what do we have left, man? I mean, we have nothing left. And, you know, like you see me today, I'm 45. And I have, like, for example, my guy, my right-hand man, this kid, Jeremiah, you know, he's getting really, really good. And I said, one day, if you continue, you'll be 45, God willing. How would you like your student, you know, to disrespect you or to whatever? Like, you always got to keep the respect, man. You always got to keep the tradition. Because without those, man, we are fucking nothing. And that's why, bro, like, you want to talk about jiu-jitsu, bro. I can't stand all the no-gi garbage, bro. I like, bro, like, I don't give a fuck, bro. Like, all these guys getting high, getting on the mat, you know, not bowing. Oh, belts don't mean anything. This, that, the other, bro. Like, it's disgusting to me, bro. Like, you know, even like if you see my videos, you know, like all our gis are white. You know what I mean? Like originally, you know, like the way I learned, like you could wear whatever color gi. But then I was like, man, I've done martial arts my whole life. You know what I mean? There's tradition. Guess what happens, bro? You wear a black gi, you're the master. Okay. Now this guy is gonna come in with a fucking pink gi or a fucking Rambo gi or a fucking, you know, weed gi. You know, what are you gonna tell him? Oh, you're wearing the gi. Oh, yeah, well, oh, I thought everybody could wear whatever they want. So I stopped changing all the gis. I said only white gis in my academy. You know what I mean? Simple. Like everything has to be tradition. When you walk into my academy, you gotta bow. When you walk on the mat, you gotta wait. You gotta look for the instructor, whoever's teaching. You gotta bow. You gotta go shake their hand. When you go to the bathroom, you turn your ass around. You face the academy. You bow. You put your shoes on before you go onto the mat. You say, "Oh man, you know, like you have a lot of traditions. You have a lot of, yeah. You don't like it, bro? Go to fucking 10th planet, motherfucker. That's simple, bro. Cancel your membership. Go.
To each their own, right? I mean, essentially.
Whatever it is.
Very rich life, very rich jiu-jitsu journey. Talk to me what happened when you got your black belt.
So
How did that unfold?
So before my black belt, from white belt to purple belt, brother, I was winning everything. Everything. I was fucking a machine. When I got my brown belt, Cyber was like, listen, man, you're one of my top guys, you know, and like we used to have a thing where he would try not to promote you until you won a world championship. Once you won the worlds, then you go to the next belt, and so on and so on. But remember, I'm already older, so I couldn't play that game. He would keep the younger guys like that. So when he promoted you to brown belt, he's like, man, listen, I need you to hold down the four. I need this. And I want to say this on this podcast because a lot of people are listening. I started getting into my own head. I started overanalyzing the pressure. Like, I have to win. Where before I would just go and compete. I would just go and like, yeah, I want to win, but I wouldn't say like, oh, if I lost, right? I started putting pressure on myself. Oh, I can't let my sensei down. I can't this. And then I started losing. And I would lose to guys that I don't want to take their victory away from them, that I felt that I could have really done better or won the fights, but I didn't fight like myself because I hesitated. I don't want to make a mistake, and then you end up making a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So brown belt, it was 50-50, 50% wins, 50% losses. And then he put my name for black belt. And this is where my journey with the team went sideways, brother, because as you can notice, we've been on here, I don't know how long, an hour, that I'm a very deep person. So, but when he put my name, so at brown belt, Cyborg started getting really famous. And like he won ADCC, and his following became huge and this and that. And remember, I would drive an hour to get to him. He would barely like really connect with me anymore. It's just kind of like, hey, what's up? Like I felt like he lost himself a little bit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when he put my name as a black belt, not just me, all the guys that were getting ready, there was a fee of $500 to get your black belt. And I remember, bro, like I was so happy that I was finally getting my black belt, but I felt so hurt that I had to pay this fee to get my black belt. So I kept my mouth shut. I said, you know what? This is the way this guy's running his business, his academy. Fine. So, before I paid it, it started eating at me inside. I didn't want to go train. My wife's like, listen, man, you're about to get your fucking black belt. Just continue going. Get your black belt. You don't have to go back. I was like, I can't do it. I was like, I don't even want my black belt anymore. And she goes, are you fucking crazy? You know how hard we trained to get this damn black belt. I said, I can't, bro. Like, it has to come from the heart. Bro, I pulled Cyborg to the side. I said, brother, you barely say hello anymore. You barely make eye contact. Now you want to charge all these fees, for belts. I was like, I just don't know if I want to be part of this team anymore. You know what I mean? Even if I have to go find a new professor, spend another 2 years at brown belt. I was like, that's what it has to be. That's what it has to be. And obviously the conversation was deeper. Originally, he didn't take it well. But then once he stopped being defensive, bro, like he opened up his heart and he's like, Yaniv, he's like, I'm so sorry, man. He goes, I don't know what got into me. It's like a lot going on in my life and this and that. And I tell people all the time, man, we all make mistakes, but you got to be willing to come clean. Mm-hmm. And once the person comes clean, I believe it's our duty to let it go, man. You know what I mean? Like you can't hold that forever, because if it's Yaniv, if it's Cyborg, if it's Thomas, if it's the rabbi, the priest, your wife, we all make mistakes. Bro, when he came clean, brother, we hugged it out, big hug, kiss. And I felt good going back to the academy. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't say anything about the money. I just said something about the way he was communicating with us and the energy that we were getting, you know, the students. Fast forward, we get the black belt. I pay the money, and I'm like, why didn't you say something about the money? You know, like,
Mm-hmm.
so then I just started feeling weird, man, like not feeling kosher about it. So I wrote him a letter. I said, Professor, Master, we call him Master. I said, Master, I don't believe that this was the right decision to charge guys who've been training with you for fucking almost a decade. You know what I mean? Of blood, sweat, and tears. This money, I feel like, because remember, I come from other martial arts where, like, there was no charging for belts. You know what I mean? Like, you got it when you got it, and that's what it was. And again, he didn't take it lightly at the beginning, but then he said to me years later, he said, because of you, because you were the only one who came and said why he felt. He goes, and again, I don't know what he does today, but he goes, we don't charge, you know, for black belts anymore. And because that happened to me, I never charge for belts at my school. As a matter of fact, I don't even do graduations. What I do is that when my student is ready for their blue, purple, brown, or black, I surprise them out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. You don't know, you came to train, and today is your day. And today's only your day. It's not your day and 10 other people's day. It's your fucking day. And here's a belt, no fee, no nothing, just hug, tears, love. And that's what I do. I believe when a student pays membership every month, you know what I mean? Like, he's already paying his dues. And by us, professors, senseis, masters, whatever you want to call yourself, when you give a belt, it should come from the heart. And I get it, you know what I mean? It's another way of income. But for me, it's like, again, remember, bro, we became martial artists not for money, bro.
That is true.
You know, like, we became martial artists because we love the art, bro. We love teaching. We love coaching. We love passing information. And yes, we need to make a living, brother. We need to charge a membership. We need to run a school, because if not, we can't keep our doors open. But not everything has to be about money, brother. And I believe, you know, you got a student who's been training hard for so many years, whatever belt we're talking about. Give them a little something, bro. Make them feel, you know, a little bit more than just a payment.
This is what builds the community. This is what builds those relationships, right? This is what builds this cohesiveness, this brotherhood, where people really stick around for a very long time and they appreciate you. They look it up, and then they pay forward to other students, isn't it?
It is. And I do want to make it clear that I've had plenty of people where I've gave my heart and soul to that fucked me over.
I think that's a story for every instructor.
Right?
Honestly,
For every instructor.
I think no matter where you fall in the political scene, what your objectives are, what size of the school is, I think we all pour our soul and love into our students, and there is always somebody who will stab you. And I think sometimes I'm curious actually what you think about this, but I think that sometimes people are not even malicious about this. It's just they have different objectives. Their life takes them in a different way. And I don't know. I feel like there's way too much fighting and bickering and arguments in jiu-jitsu. Like, it doesn't have to be that way.
So remember, bro, like, there's a way to go about things.
Yeah, 100%.
If you're my student, whatever belt you are, white, blue, purple, brown, black, doesn't matter. And you're moving from Florida to Chicago, right? And I say, and you come to me, hey, Sensei, man, I got to talk to you. Man, unfortunately, I'm leaving. I'm going to have to be leaving the academy. And the first thing I'm going to say is, oh my gosh, why are you leaving? And he's going to say, man, I'm moving to Chicago. I have a great opportunity, da-da-da-da. I say, oh, you know what? Man, you know what? Even though it's bittersweet, I wish you all the best.
Yep.
Hey, I know a guy named Thomas. He's in Chicago. Please go visit him. He's a good guy. This is what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But I have guys that I've had, you know, free memberships. I've had guys sponsored. I've had guys that I got them super fights. I've had guys that I went above and beyond for in many, many different ways. And when those guys hop teams, when
Mhm.
those guys do certain things, bro, I had a guy, I was sponsoring him from white to purple, bro. It was like 5 years. And in return, I had him say, hey, help me clean the gym and, help me with the kids class. One day he comes in, he says, hey, listen, man, I really don't want to continue cleaning the gym or helping with the kids class. I'm really busy. He was rude about it or anything. I said, no problem, man. No problem. I was like, just pay the membership like everybody else. Okay, no problem. Disappears.
Mhm.
Motherfucker, I sponsor you for 5 years. I teach you not just everything I know on the mat, but everything I know about life. I
Mhm.
care for you. And this is what you do.
Yeah.
So there's been a gang of those. And by the way, every time one of those happens, the devil's talking in my ear and says, charge that belt for you, motherfucker. Right? I'm telling you, it's like, don't be so giving. Don't be so,
Mhm.
like, just teach the class and leave. Sometimes I'll stay in class after, bro, for an hour with somebody if they're going through it, and then they just fucking leave, right, for whatever's going on. And it hurts, brother, because you pour a lot into these people.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think what's worse about these situations that through these bad experiences, we don't allow more opportunities to the people who really need it. You know what I mean? Because like we just get burned and we put our fences up and we can't question things. Maybe we don't want to give more help to somebody else. I mean, I've been there. I know every instructor that I know has been in these situations one way or another. It's part of this, and it sucks. That
Yes.
really sucks. Those are like deep cuts, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, because the people are close to you, right? Some of these
Yeah.
people, you let them in your house, you feed them dinner, they sit with you, like you break bread. It's not just jiu-jitsu, bro. It's way deeper than that.
Yeah, you build these deep relationships. Listen, we've been at this for an hour and 15 minutes. I mean, this is all thanks to you because you got great story. You're a great storyteller. But
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
We
Thank you.
slowly got to start wrapping this up. You have a lot of stuff that you offer online and on a website and so on. I want you to tell me, where can people find you? Anybody who wants to reach out to you as a perhaps motivation from this conversation, or they want to get into one of your programs that can really help them with their life, where can they be found?
So if anyone's located in South Florida, I have my Jiu-Jitsu Academy. It's YRJiu-Jitsu.com. It's my name, Yaniv Rosenberg Jiu-Jitsu Team. You're more than welcome to come in, get some rolls in, train, and be part of the academy. I have my coaching program. It's called the 1% Club. And basically, I created this program. It's a new program that I just created. I stopped doing the other ones, where I help men become the 1%ers of the world, which means the best husbands, best fathers, and just best human beings. And the program focuses on accountability, brotherhood, and keeping high standards. So if you're interested in that, I created a school community. Go onto my Instagram. It's at Yaniv Rosenberg 1, and just click on the link, and you will see it over there. Click on it. It's $99 a month. I made it really cheap because all my other programs used to be really expensive. $1,000 a month, $500 a month. And I said, you know what? How can I create a program that will reach to as many people as possible and have the most impact? And so that's how I created that 1% Club.
I love it. I'll make sure that all the links are in the show notes of this episode. So if you guys are interested in learning more, figuring out more, or even joining, I highly encourage you to do it. What a great opportunity.
Thomas, man, thank you so much, brother, for your time and letting me share my story. And for all the guys who are watching, obviously your jiu-jitsu guys, man, continue, keep pushing forward, enjoy the journey. Don't stress yourself out. There's good days, bad days. Some days you're the nail, some days you're the hammer. You know what I mean? And just keep doing jiu-jitsu, man. Jiu-jitsu is good for your soul.
I love it. Let's wrap it up for today.
So,
thank you for listening to RŌL Radio. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to leave us a review and help us make the show even more amazing. For future episodes, check out our website and follow us on all major podcast platforms. Take care.